right, I think we're good to start. Thanks everyone for joining and welcome to today's webinar on the future of internal communications. So today, throughout the session, feel free to engage with us by asking questions in the chat. We'll have a dedicated Q&A sessions towards the end of the session to address your questions. And also a quick note that today's webinar is being recorded and all of you will receive an email after this webinar later this afternoon with the recording and the slides afterward. All right, let's get started. So first, let's have a look at today's speaker. So today's speaker include myself. My name is Pierre. I am the APAC Sales Director. I'm based out of Sydney, and I look after the APAC region for PAL Software. And today I'm joined by Benjamin Neo. Benjamin is a Senior Solutions Engineer, bringing over a decade of experience implementing IT solutions in the Microsoft space for a wide range of organizations in the region. A very quick background about PAL Software, so everybody knows who we are and what we do exactly. PAL Software, we're essentially a global software vendor, so global ISV from a Microsoft standpoint. We are specialized in digital workplace solutions and 100% aligned with Microsoft. We're a Microsoft Gold partner, also a top-tier partner, and Microsoft is really an integral part of our strategy. The reason behind this alignment is quite simple and natural. It is because PAL Software was founded about 7 years ago by a Microsoft system integrator that was originally very, very strong in the SharePoint space. What happened to us basically is that we had a ton of SharePoint specialists in-house that built hundreds and hundreds of projects on SharePoint for various customers. And of course, when you build hundreds of projects on SharePoint, you end up building a lot of intranets. And what our consultants realized when they were building all these intranets was that every time they would build a project, they would more or less have to start from scratch. They would have to rely on two things that clients don't really like, which is custom development and all the maintenance that goes with that. And because we were always building more or less the same things, and at the end of the day, all intranets need a nice homepage, a people directory, an HR hub, a communication hub, etc., etc. We started thinking to ourselves, why do we always rely on custom development and maintenance when it comes to building on top of SharePoint? And that's when we came up with this idea of building PAL Intranet, our templated intranet framework that goes on top of SharePoint Online, and that addresses corporate communications, employee experience, engagement. The whole concept of PAL Intranet was really to break SharePoint down into templates to help customers accelerate the whole process of design, deployment, and maintenance afterwards without having to start from scratch every time they wanted to build something. So that's really how everything started for us at PAL Software. If we fast forward to today, we now support over 500 organizations, which represents about 2 million users. Organizations ranging from all sorts of industries. We don't specialize in industries. Our specialization is technology. So the moment you want to leverage SharePoint, but also Teams, we'll see that later, for your communications and collaboration, you will be eligible to use our solutions. But it's also across all sorts of size of customers. To give you an idea, today we work with clients ranging from 20 users all the way up to 180,000 users. So it is really spread across the board. And it shows how scalable the solutions are as well. So that was for the very quick introduction about PAL Software. Let's now dive into the agenda for today's webinar. So quick look at the agenda. We are first going to dive into the role of internal communication for the organization's success. Then we'll explore the challenges internal communications and overall intranet owners are facing, and then we'll discuss strategies to overcome it. And once we've set the scene, it'll be demo time. Benjamin will take you through some of the key functionalities we've seen successful intranets leverage to unlock its full potential when it comes to communications and collaboration within SharePoint. We'll then try to get to really set some time apart to go through your questions, of course, and provide answers. So don't forget to drop it in the chat as we go through the presentation. And finally, we'll briefly go through what next steps could look like if improving your intranet is part of your roadmap. All right, so in today's digital age, organizational communication has evolved beyond traditional methods. We know it, focusing on building collaborative cultures without physical boundaries. Effective internal communication is essential for unlocking collaboration and innovation within teams. It ensures that every team member is well informed and shares a common understanding of the goals and direction of the company, leading to, of course, enhanced productivity and efficiency. Employees are a top priority, and internal communication plays a vital role in keeping them informed about resources, benefits, wellness program, but also contributing to their overall well-being and engagement. Now, what are the challenges that internal communications are facing today? With modern communication comes, of course, new challenges. The rise of remote working um, has shifted how teams collaborate and communicate, while the influx of information demands personalized and prioritized communication to reduce fatigue. Employee engagement is crucial. So, how do we ensure our employees stay engaged to prevent decreased morale and turnover? These are the questions we'll try to address today. So today we are diving deep into the modern workplace landscape, focusing on the pivotal role of intranet solutions. These solutions now serve as the backbone of streamlined communication and collaboration, providing employees with a central platform to access and engage with crucial content effortlessly. Now, picture a centralized hub where employees can smoothly communicate activities, broadcast key announcements themselves, and access vital information with just a few clicks. Moreover, it acts as a catalyst for idea exchange, process streamlining, and fostering a sense of community spirit, building that culture within the organization. So it's by harnessing the power of intranet solutions that will unlock a world of possibilities for enhancing collaboration, driving innovation, and ultimately achieving the organization's success. All right, and so without further ado, I'm going to hand it over back to Benjamin, who is going to take us through how we conquer some of these communication challenges and then go through the demo time, which will be really the exciting time where we will see in action how intranets can leverage these top features. Over to you, Ben.
Awesome. Thank you, Pierre. So, how can we leverage our internet platform to ensure that we can communicate effectively in today's modern workplace to encourage collaboration and innovation? First, we need to empower our internal communications team by equipping them with the necessary tools to manage communication on the internet, enabling them to easily create content without requiring advanced technical ability to do so, having simple ways to build engaging and modern content within a few clicks. Having a place for prioritized content to ensure readers are aware that and are reading at minimum the must read content for your organization. Also ensuring your users are able to find the right information they need at that point in time by empowering them and directing your users to enhance searches to complete their day-to-day work and find the right information that they're looking for. And lastly, enabling the intranet for frontline communication, precise information to your frontline workers to ensure that they are not forgotten. These are all key aspects to encourage communication efficiency within your modern workplace. How about engagement? Ensuring your employees are engaged within your company's intranet is key for an effective collaboration and innovation for in your organization. Making sure that information is displayed to users is personalized, relevant to their needs, and not overburdening them with irrelevant information, which can lead to information fatigue. Also, notifying your employees via email or Teams or notifications to around new published content to make them aware around information that they need to read, and also allowing them to personalize those notifications to ensure that they have full control of what they want to see. Encouraging engagement through gamification is also another way to encourage engagement, enabling users to gain points as they interact within the internet. Identifying your top engagers, determining which sites may need more engagement, and implement reward campaigns to encourage your employees to catalyze engagement within your intranet. Lastly, encouraging employee recognition, highlighting your top workers as part of your monthly or quarterly meetings to promote internal recognition and promote camaraderie within your organization. Lastly, building an effective communication network starts with your organization culture. Being aware how your employees communicate with each other, encouraging open communication will reduce siloed employees and make sure that employees are heard. The modern internet can provide many avenues to build an open communication culture. For example, implementing an ideation management platform, building a framework where employees can manage and can collaborate around key topic areas that are important to your organization, providing a safe place for all employees to suggest, vote, and collaborate around on their ideas, allowing employees to provide feedback or votes to a poll or particular items to gather input to help support your organization's decision making and as a result improving your product and services as an organization, providing avenues for employees to share content, allowing employees to encourage each other employees to be able to share that content and read that content. Building discussion forums is another way to build open culture, to allow your employees to openly discuss with each other around internal and social topics within your organization. These are all ideas to help overcome challenges in today's world of communication. To empower your communication team, encourage engagement, and build an open communication culture will help support your organization to nurture a collaborative and innovative workplace. Now, we'll actually look at what a modern day intranet looks like to help support your organization to encourage a collaborative and innovative workspace. So here I have opened our Orion intranet. This is an instrument that we use for internal use here at PAL Software, and it's powered by our product, PAL Intranet platform, which is an intranet accelerator that sits on top of SharePoint Online, taking full capability of what Microsoft SharePoint provides, but allows you to go further. The aim of PAL Intranet is to allow you to fully leverage your SharePoint licensing, but help fill in the gaps that are missing in SharePoint. We generally hear feedback from our customers where SharePoint can be difficult to use because sometimes it's too technical for my non-technical users. I'm not getting enough engagement on my SharePoint intranet, or it's too basic to meet our needs as a enterprise organization. This is where PAL can help advance your SharePoint intranet to enhance engagement, collaboration, and innovation. We do this through a number of ways. As we're talking about the challenges previously, we're going to link them to how we actually resolve them. So first is our simplified content creation process. As we are on SharePoint, we generally hear from our customers about how challenging and confusing it can be to be built to that can be to build out content in SharePoint. So here we're actually in SharePoint. If you wanted to have users to create events, jobs, news pages in SharePoint, it can be confusing to a non-technical user to know where to create this and present content creators. And it's important to present content creators with a simplified way to create content in using our simplified content creation process. Using our simplified content creation process, your content creators will be able to easily create different types of content from your typical news articles to creating discussion boards, events, job offers, or even managing your FAQ pages within a few clicks. So when a content creator selects the type of news content that they wish to create, for example, here we have news, they'll be able to be prompted with a simple form for them to fill out to capture the information for this news. For example, here we have the title, description, if we want to upload a banner image. But in addition to that, we also now want to be able to make sure that we are able to apply properties and metadata to our news so that we can start to apply filtering, searching, and contextualization to the information that we create within our intranet. So once a content creator populates this information, as a result, they will be able to create engaging news articles, for instance, which is fully furnished, it's consistent throughout the intranet, and all they had to do is fill out a simple form. Second, our must-read functionality. Empowering our communicators is not just about creating content, it's also about providing avenues to display highly important content where this can be specific news from our senior management, must-read information like a change in policies that all employees must be aware of. Having an easy way for information to be marked as must-read to have displayed in front of our employees is key to an efficient communication strategy to ensure all our employees are aware of the essential information for our organization. Third, our search. Intranets are not just about news and publicizing them. It's also about where we store important documents like our policy documents, maybe specific instructional guides, maybe specific technical guides, and even product information. Majority of our customers who has had SharePoint insurance has always come back with us with the feedback around it's trying to find information in their SharePoint environments is too difficult, where they're spending too much time finding information that they critically need. Making it easy for users to gain access to this information is a key function for the internet to encourage communication and collaboration. Being able to search for information, apply contextualization to search is vital. Where instead of searching through everything in your organization, which is something that SharePoint does, you have specific search areas relevant to your organization, such like your policy documents, training guides, onboarding documents, videos, discussions, lessons learned. So this is where you can actually our users going to be able to be able to find specific scoped areas, similar to how we actually store our documents on our PCs. We don't store all our documents in one big folder and assume that we're going to be able to easily find information in that one big folder. Instead, what we do in our PCs is we categorize our documents into multiple different folders based off specific topics, clients, or projects. In the same way, we need to apply this within our intranet to make sure that you have that contextualization search to be able to scope that information to and direct the users correctly to the specific knowledge bases. In addition, enabling a user to drill down their search result to reduce the amount of information provided in their search will essentially result in an effective way for users to find the information they need at that point in time. So making sure that we have filters on the right, making sure that we have actually tagged information correctly. And as you can see through our simplified content creation process, it's going to be a lot easier to make sure that your information inside your intranet or even inside your SharePoint environments is tagged correctly. Lastly, when we're talking about empowering our communication team, effective communication is not only needed for our desk workers, it's also important to consider those who are working outside of the office to prevent individuals from being siloed and increase engagement to those frontline workers. Making sure you have a means to engage your frontline workers through a mobile app or an adaptive internet portal to allow your frontline workers easy access to your organization information. Some strategies we have is our intranet is accessible. So as we resize this browser, or as you open up your intranet on the mobile, it's going to display a mobile friendly version of that intranet. Some of our customers will essentially, instead of they want a dedicated app, so they use Microsoft Teams, and with Microsoft Teams you can embed the intranet as an app inside Microsoft Teams, and allow their employees to access the internet through Microsoft Teams from the mobile. Lastly, if this is if your requirements is really specified for a dedicated app for your intranet, we also have Power Apps, which is a dedicated mobile version of the intranet where you would design and implement specific areas of your intranet into that mobile device and mobile app. Where as a result, you would have a unique interface for those frontline users to be able to see the key information that they need to be able to read. So now we're going to be talking about engagement on the internet, and it is essential for effective communication because information fatigue is a common issue in today's world with so much information out there, with everyone wanting your attention. It is important to ensure information that is presented to your employees is precise and targeted. Having an effective way for employees to customize the information that they want to see. So here we've got uh, my targeted news. And as you can see, firstly, IT is because my logged in user is from the IT department. So it's going to be grayed out. But then as a user, I can actually specifically personalize information, whether it's from department, location, or my topics, or any kind of target information that you can tag onto your news article. So this could be specific to your organization, specific metadata, because it is because having an effective way to target your information, it, to customize what information they want to see and enable communicators to target information to the right audience is key for an engagement to your employees within your organization. Another way to make sure that information fatigue does not happen is through subscriptions. Being able to disseminate and ensure the right users are engaging on the right content through notifications to your employees to ensure employees are aware of key information they have subscribed to. All user notifications are essential. However, enabling a user to configure their own notifications is vital to engage your employees. Having the ability for employees to personalize what they get notified in the intranet via email or even specifically on the intranet itself, and also have specific metadata that they can subscribe to. So when information is created against this metadata, that they will get a notification by email or from a tag, a little from the bell icon here in the internet to be aware of key information that they have subscribed to. That ensures that they're not flooded with massive amounts of notification and emails, and will ensure that you're capturing the right audience for the content that you create as a content creator and allowing them to engage effectively on newly created content. Engaging our employees is vital as it leads to information sharing, employee collaboration, and innovation. Gamification is a perfect tool to help engagement within your intranet. The way gamification works is as your employee interacts within the intranet, they can gain points and badges, allowing you to build campaigns to encourage engagement within your intranet. Not only can you encourage engagement through gamification, but now you have the ability to track and identify who are your top engagers. It's not that one. Yep. Who are your top engagers? So here we've got the engagers. Who are your top amplifiers? The people who will be sharing your information. And observers, who are the people who are just reading and digesting your information. Where in addition to that, what you can do is you also have the ability to look at key sites where sites are getting more engagement. So here we've got our waterfront site getting the most employee advocacy, and then our homepage. And also see who are our top engagers for those sites. So this is where using gamification, you can start building out reports to help you drill down to further information to provide you more information around your intranet, more information around how your engagement is going and who are your top engagers, who are the people who are creating content, who are the people who are sharing content, and who are the people who are just reading content, and allow you to precisely target your campaigns based off and campaigns to encourage engagement based off these users. Another way to encourage engagement is and build an open culture in your organization is by employee recognition, allowing your employees to publicly or privately recognize their employees publicly or privately recognize employees and provide them with a kudos, employee recognition, to be able to establish gamification or congratulate the top kudos as part of your monthly meeting is a first way to encourage employees to grant kudoses where they will gain points if the person giving the kudos will gain points if they grant a kudos, and the person receiving a kudos can gain points as part of giving a kudos. Or within Power, what we do is we also publicize who for each every month who is our top kudoses to encourage that open communication and camaraderie within our organization. Having an open culture is key in providing effective communication, collaboration, and innovation, allowing employees to be a part of challenges that your organization is trying to solve, and having an open framework which allows your employees to suggest ideas and collaborate on these will help remove silos, encourage open collaboration within your organization. With ideation, this is our ideation template here, you can make informed decisions by looking at the different ideas that are suggested for each and every campaign. So here we've got how we can make our office more eco-friendly, and be able to start to make more decisions by, as you can see from the votes and also from the comments. Lastly, one other thing that we also talk about being able to retrieve open feedback and open collaboration is through polls and discussion forums. So having a way to be able to ask key questions to your employees and to ensure employees are heard and allowing them to collaborate on discussion topics. So if we go into our communities, we can have a number of different discussion topics. And being able to collaborate on those key discussion topics is key for an intranet to encourage open communication and collaboration. Lastly, our webinar is not complete today without talking about AI. So how can AI help build up your digital workplace intranet to improve collaboration, innovation? Firstly, we look at AI assisted contribution, enabling your communication team to help engage content on your intranet, making it easier for contributors to create content on your intranet, ensuring your intranet does not go stale. Secondly, is improving the way that we search within the internet, allowing users to be able to search based off natural language through the AI tool and provide suggestions to help users search for information. And lastly, AI assisted knowledge bots, allowing your employees to ask questions which normally would be directed to an individual to provide an answer based off specific areas of information in your organization. So we have two knowledge bots here that I'm going to be showing you as an example where AI can come enhance your employees' experience. First is our HR bot. So here I can go in, sorry, this is the HR bot. Here I can go in and start to ask the HR bot about specific questions that I might have that I might direct to someone from the HR department. And instead of the HR department having to go through and repeat the same answer over and over again, I can go to the HR bot and actually specifically ask the HR bot around are key questions, like for example, what procedures are for requesting leave? And this is going to link to the knowledge base that we have in terms of requesting leave for in Power Software. Another tool that we have that we also leverage AI is also around our our support, our learning center. So here we have our learning center, which is open to our customers and partners. And here we actually have a bot in our learning center. And the whole point of this bot is to allow partners or customers to ask questions about Power Intranet or Power Teams, which is our second product. Where, for example, when we're talking about good performance or when talking about how to publish Power Apps in the App Store, you can ask these questions, and then this will then link to a knowledge base that we have, which then will which will then respond and point the user to the right knowledge article or answer the question for that user. So that ends our demo for today, and we're gonna go into Q&A. So for those, we're gonna open up the board for questions and answers. So for those who want to know how to do this, this is where on the top left you would have right next to the chat icon you have a Q&A button, and this is where you can actually ask questions here, and then we can go in and answer them.
Yep, absolutely. And we already have a couple of questions that have been submitted that are in the queue. So please keep it coming, but we'll start with a couple of questions that we've already received. So Ben, actually, a question for you on, I think it's really about Pal Intranet, but the question is, where is the content stored on your platform?
It's a very good question. So as I mentioned before, we are on Power Internet sits on top of SharePoint Online. So what that means is all the content actually is stored and stays within the SharePoint, the customers or your organization's SharePoint Online tenant.
Awesome. Another question that actually just arrived, I think it was as you were presenting the AI component for advanced search and knowledge retrieval. So the question is really about, again, the technology, and it's really about what technology are we using for this AI component?
Yep. So we really strive ourselves around security and making sure that information is not publicly going, your organization information is not going outside of your organization, and we look at different technologies which is really going to help support this. So we use Azure Open AI to make sure that your information and your questions and the information that's stored always stays within your organization's Office 365 environment.
Awesome. And I see another one. Okay, so I think this is again about the demo environment you've shown. So this person is asking, is it possible to not use everything in your product, or do we need to deploy it all?
That's a very good question. So with Palo Intranet, it is a templatized framework. So what that means is everything that you see here is configurable, changeable. So a lot of the times when a customer comes in and wants to implement Palo Intranet into that SharePoint environment, what they do is they generally do a pick and choose exercise. So they may decide, well, I want a few of these components that I've seen as part of the intranet demonstration site, but then I might not want to implement everything.
Yeah, absolutely. And maybe just to add a little bit onto that, the way we operate as a software vendor is also through a network of implementation and consulting partners. So all of our existing customers have worked with a Power Software partner to implement the solution, configure it, but also customize it. And so what's important is that the partners will will provide you with a discovery exercise to understand what they will be building. And so if we take the example of a homepage, which is always a consensus, every intranet need a homepage. When you need a homepage, you will be able to go through different template options available in the product. And once you've selected your template, you will be then able to do that pick and choose exercise within the template. So for example, here on the homepage that Ben is sharing, we saw earlier that we had some kudos or some events, for example. You could very well say that the kudos are not something that is relevant to your intranet, and then a partner could go and remove these kudos, replace it with something else that's maybe more relevant. Also, one thing to keep in mind is that all of the templates we provide, we have a lot of what we call basic templates, a homepage, a people directory, a department site, for example, but we also have a lot of more advanced templates that provide access to functionalities and scenarios that wouldn't be achievable with just SharePoint. But all of the templates we provide can be repurposed and can be completely re-engineered by our partners. I will give you one example. Last year, we had a customer that did a whole ideation exercise, so using our ideation template to promote more sustainability initiatives through the intranet, which is not really a requirement. So they actually defined the requirement based on the result of this ideation campaign. The result was that users suggested to promote carpooling as a best practice within the organization. So it was an organization based in Germany. A lot of these users were driving to the same office every day and realized that they all live in similar neighborhoods. So they said, why don't we just start doing carpooling to reduce the carbon footprint a little bit? And in the end, what the partner did was very ingenious. They reutilized what we call an event hub template. That template is essentially a search page for your events in SharePoint. And they re-engineered completely this template into a carpooling site. So they've given the ability to all users to create a new event, and that event is a car ride essentially. So a user can publish where they're going to be driving, and another user can register to that car ride the same way they would register to an event in SharePoint. So this is how a lot of these templates and scenarios can be completely re-engineered. All right, I see another question just came through, Ben. How to archive information when it is out of date, and how to manage the archive data.
Yep, so there are many ways of doing this. So because we're on SharePoint, we really have the real flexibility to be able to leverage the full data management that SharePoint provides. So firstly, in terms of making sure that you have information that's being constantly reviewed and making sure that your information is updated, what a lot of customers will do is they would apply a review date as part of their content to make sure that information is getting reviewed, and then using a tool like Power Automate to be able to notify the users for around being able to review that information. And then once they say that you finally say that, well, this information now needs to be archived and now needs to go into some cheaper storage, this is where you have many different options because we are on SharePoint Online. Your content is sitting within SharePoint, where you have the ability to build a simple Power Automate script, use SharePoint Premium as part of an archive solution, or even some other third-party solutions if you needed to as well. So we have many customers being able to do this quite simply.
Awesome. And yeah, one last question. So will we be able to access the recording of the webinar? Yes, an automatic email will be sent, and you will all have access to the recording of the webinar. And that actually is a good segue to the last slide. So I don't know, Ben, if you want to. Yeah, perfect. So in terms of next steps, just being conscious of the time, I'd like to keep the webinar within 45 minutes so everybody can get an extra 15 minutes back in their agenda. But in terms of next steps, so you will all receive a follow-up email with the recording of the webinar, also a free white paper with 15 PAL intranet features that internal communications love. And also, if this is something of interest, if improving your intranet is in your roadmap, you will be eligible for a free 1-hour consultation on your intranet to implement quick wins that we could suggest based on what we see with other customers. At the end of the day, we spend our entire week looking at intranets, so we're happy to recommend these quick wins, whether they are with Parallel or even with just SharePoint out of the box. You may have been invited directly by PAL Software or by a PAL Software partners for some of you. So either myself or your respective partner will be in touch with these follow-up steps. But again, it was a pleasure to have you on today's webinar. Thanks a lot, Ben, for being with me and for presenting this powerful demo. And we hope to see you very soon. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Have a great day.